So let's start recording. Let's see. So again, let's try to get through this as fast as we, as possibly can. Okay. So let's say I have an equation that's y equals 2/3 x minus 5. And what I want is to find the slope that will give me a parallel line and the slope that will give me a perpendicular line. So let's start with the parallel line. What kind of slope do I need to have for them to be parallel?
Negative?
Not a negative. Remember, parallel means that they have to be going in the same direction.
So be, what would it be? Hold on. God dang it. Wouldn't it be like 2/3?
So the
Or
slope,
would it be?
the slope would be the same. Okay, so we already know this is the slope of the equation, 2/3, right? It's always that number in front of the x. So if we have two parallel lines, we have to be going in the same direction, meaning that they have to have the same slope. So parallel lines, my parallel line would have a slope of 2/3. Okay. So what about a perpendicular line? Now, April, with this one, you said, okay, with this one, or you said that it was negative. So this would apply for a perpendicular line. But it's not only negative, but what else would happen?
You flip it?
You flip it. So negative 3/2. Okay. Okay.
Wait. I'm done.
Okay, so these are problems, how you're going to find them in the homework. And I saw some of you guys had already started. But like I said, let's go over the kinds of problems that you'll see in the homework. Okay. So we have this equation right here. And this is in standard form, okay? I don't know if you guys remember this from last year, but this is in standard form, but we want it in slope-intercept form, which means that we need to solve for y. So how should we do this? How do we solve for y here?
Say it again, Rod. You cut it out.
So how would we solve for y here? We need to leave y by itself so that we can have this in slope-intercept.
Would you move 6x to the other side?
Right, so we would start by subtracting 6x on both sides. We want to move. So we got 7y is equal to negative 6x minus 42. Okay, so that's what we got so far. Now we want to cancel out that 7. So we need to
so you would divide 7?
Right. So we need to cancel out that 7. So we're going to divide both of these by 7. Okay. And here's the thing. 6/7, that would be a fraction, so we could just leave it like that. Makes things easier. But what about negative 42 divided by 7? What would that give us?
-6?
Right. We'd actually end up with a -6. Yep. All right. So now that we have in slope-intercept form, it becomes easier to say, okay, what if I want a parallel line? What kind of slope do I need? Sorry, John, you're kind of cutting out there. But yeah, now that I have, let's see, now that I have this equation, and I want to find a line that is parallel to that, what kind of slope does it need to have?
Negative slope?
Well, it's not just negative, but our slope is -6/7. So what kind of slope does a parallel line need to have? They need to be going in the same direction. So it needs to be
Positive.
It needs to be the same. -6/7. So to have a parallel line, it needs to be the same. Now with a perpendicular line, remember that it needs to change from from negative to a positive, but one other thing needs to happen.
You flip them.
Right, so I would turn into a positive, and then I flip the fraction. So that's 7/6. Okay. Okay, so now with this one, we would do the same steps, right? So we wanted to change it into slope-intercept form. So let's subtract x on both sides. So this is -x plus 24. And we're going to divide both sides by 3. So y is equal to, we can just write this as -1/3x, and then 24 divided by 3. 24 divided by 3, which is 8. So +8. Okay. So that's the first thing. We want to change it from a standard form to the slope-intercept form. So we have y equals -1/3x plus 8. And so now we want a parallel line. So we want a parallel line that is going to go through the points -2 and -3. Okay. So if we want a parallel line, again, what kind of slope do we need?
The same slope.
The same slope, -1/3. And we have -2 and -3. So remember, for this, we would need to use the formula y minus y1 is equal to x minus x1 and the slope of that. So let's put this into the formula. We have y minus -3 is equal to -1/3 x minus -2. So again, let's solve for y. Y plus 3. And then x plus 2 right there. That turns into a positive. So after that, we'll distribute. So we'd have y plus 5 is equal to negative 1 over 3x. And that should be negative 1 over 3 times 2, that's negative 2 over 3. And now we're going to subtract both sides by 5. So y is equal to negative 1 over 3x. And negative 2 over 3 minus 5. With the fractions, we can do this. So I'm going to multiply 2 and 1. 3 and 5, which is 15. And then 3 and 1, which is 3. So this ends up being about negative 17 over 3. So negative 17 over 3. Okay. And now this is a line that is parallel to our original line. And it goes through the points negative 2 and 3. All right.